My name's Natt Smith. My family and I are from Condobolin, a little island on the Lachlan River. My mobs is from Condo and Orange, part of Western New South Wales, and we're part of the Wiradjuri Nation. However, when I was about 2.5, I entered the out-of-home care system. Being like a foster child in the system, for me, that sense of safety and security, that sense of wanting something that was mine and no one ever having to be able to kick me out. And so for me, that big dream of having a home was at the deep root of who I was. I'm a list girl. When I was young, I had a dream list, and in my dream list was finishing Year 12, getting a job, getting some education, and getting a car, and the big dream was actually having my own home. What worked for me was being part of the IBA journey. I found that the bigger banks didn't understand me, and I felt really silly asking all of the most basic questions about home ownership. I needed someone like an IBA staff member where I could ask the most basic questions possible around what home ownership was, what did I need to do, what did I need to look for, and IBA was the path for me because they understood me and they understood that I needed the baby steps to get to where I needed to go. When I entered home ownership, my son was 2 years old, and so I bought the most smallest apartment possible. It was 1 bedroom and a sunroom and less than 50 square metres. And it wasn't my forever home, but it was my start in the journey. As I began to build the confidence and understand what is involved in home ownership, when I did finally sell that first property and buy my second property, I felt way more confident to actually go through a private broker. I would say to people thinking about home ownership to think about strata bills or the council bills, the electricity, and it's taken me a while to figure this out because I would always call up the energy place and say, oh, can you give me an extra month to pay that bill? Whereas now I've actually kind of roughly calculated how much electricity, council and strata costs, and I've just divided it by 12 months. And so now out of every fortnight's pay, I take that little portion out so that I'm always, when that bill comes in, I've actually got the money, whereas I used to always have to negotiate and pay at a later stage. From buying my first property to selling it to my second property, which I'm now living in, it has enabled me to buy an investment property so that I'm able to further build my wealth so that I'm able to better support my family as we grow together. I think what I would say is to tell people, don't give up on your dreams. You are worthy of a spot in this world. And yes, when you first start your home ownership journey, it's that first step. But then as you start to build that confidence and then start to sell that first home to then buy another home that suits you and your family needs better, helps to support you to grow and become even more confident in this world. My mum passed when I was about 3, but when I've gone back home, everyone who knew my mum said that she loved the city and she loved walking the city. This is where she loved being, and so every time I come home, I have that sense of safety and security because I feel her presence as I walk home. This place represents where my mum came from and where she loved being, and so I wanted to share this with my son.